Have you ever noticed that American childhood is really empty and expensive and all centered around the next spectacle?
Over time, we have developed very strange attitudes about children, and most of it comes from the way we build cities. Utah is often seen as a child-friendly place, and on the surface it is. Look at this place. There are so many attractions designed for kids, colorful, stimulating, and educational. America has more of these than ever. These places are fun, but here's the problem. Is this real life? Does adulthood look like this for you? Does this prepare kids to be grown up with families? No, they're spectacles, detached from reality. They're as fulfilling as fast food, enjoyable, but empty. They're also expensive, especially for larger families, and hard to manage with multiple kids. The other day, I actually paid money to take my children to see a cow in a cage. And I was just beside myself. Am I so desperate for something for my children to do, I'm willing to pay to look at something as normal as cows and chickens? Here I am as a parent trying to entertain my children at every turn instead of just living life with them. As suburban frameworks isolate mothers and children through empty and dysfunctional environments, these attractions become one of the few options left. So we seek more entertainment instead of life experiences. With little organic community or walkability, we fill children's time with regulated and costly experiences. Parents become babysitters on the sidelines, believing the more curated activities their kids have, the better. This includes not just giant indoor jungle gyms and parks, but also sports, museums, and structured extracurriculars. And sure, these are better than screens, which are hard to avoid when families are burned out from isolation, but this is the real problem. We treat childhood as separate from society rather than integrated into it. Historically, you couldn't walk outside without seeing children fully engaged in real life. Now they're confined to child-only spaces, and parents are shamed if they don't keep them there. And what happens when these activities become too expensive for the middle class? Because they are. What's left? Instead of learning responsibility and independence naturally and slowly, kids are placed in endless structured activities, and there are very little options otherwise. Parents become permanent chauffeurs, and their children grow up dependent and emotionally fragile, struggling to adjust to adulthood after being told all of their lives they are separate from it. The transition is so painful that 30s have become the new 20s, as young adults spend a decade trying to catch up on real-world education they missed. And at the end, there's always the consumer shop with aisles of processed food. Suburban environments do this. They separate mothers from normal society, and in doing so, separate children.